All right, everybody, welcome back to the show. This is Global RnB 96.3. I am Jackie Tramel, the midday lover, along with our co-host, program director, Krystal J. All right, so basically, we want to start this show off with a little story. So I'm gonna say it like this: it's 1993. We're chilling with your boo in the background, in the back seat with no sheets, and y'all hear one of the biggest anthems, bedroom anthems of all time. I'm gonna say it goes something like this. Y'all know what it is.
Yeah.
So listen, we got H-Town in the building, man. We got G.I., we got Shazam. How y'all feeling today? Man, it's a pleasure
What
to
up?
have
What's
y'all.
up? What's up? Hey, in
Yeah,
the
yeah.
building, baby.
What's going on?
Man, it's a pleasure to have y'all. It's a
Yes.
pleasure.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having us. Yeah.
Oh, it's a pleasure. It's a
The
definite.
building.
Let me go ahead. Let me say it like this. I gotta tell you about this because, like, my mother is 93, and my mother, I'm probably like 9, 10 years old. My mother's up here screaming. I'm like, what are y'all screaming about? What's going on? But she's screaming at this song. I didn't even know what Knocking the Boot was. So what I want to ask y'all is, did y'all realize that this song, or not even just the song, but y'all as well, would be such a staple in R&B? That song would turn into a staple. It would be a hit, and that y'all would blow up the way that y'all did just based off coming off that song.
Push that.
You
Well,
said most.
man, when we wrote the song, we was teenagers, man. You know what I'm saying? We wrote the song, basically, man, we were just trying to, in the beginning, it's crazy. We really wasn't trying to make it to make a lot of money. We was more trying to just show up for our friends in high school that, hey,
Yeah.
man, everybody said we weren't going to make it. Not to say we didn't want to make money, but we was more like just for the passion of it, man. We was just so in love with just being entertainers and singers. And we wanted to show our friends that, the hood that, man, written by all three members, 2 weeks our lives changed when this song came out. So we didn't really expect it and really didn't know what we had, but we knew it was good enough to at least get us on TV and our friends could see us on TV.
Okay, so that was like that y'all would say that would be like the making of it, where it came from, like the terminology you're not gonna boost. So nobody ever heard this terminology before. So what did like terminology come from?
Good.
Well, actually, the terminology came from my brother Dino. He started out writing the song. My brother Dino was
Mm-hmm.
at my grandmother's house. He was writing the song, and then he was saying TikTok. The original song name was like TikTok or something like that, and I was
Okay,
like TikTok. I came in like, man, we make like we knocking something how you gonna TikTok making love, like so. So I was like, the knocking. I kind of came with the knocking thing, and I said, maybe let's just, you know, get in between my brother. He kind of collaborate. Then we got with Gi, and Gi kind of added his flavor to it and everything. So that's how we ended up becoming with a mega hit. You know what I'm saying?
That's real.
it worked. It definitely worked.
Oh yeah.
We don't want to go in. We don't want to go in TikTok. We definitely want to. We definitely we want to knock it out the park.
Yeah, like he was saying like tick, like almost like you're making love like towards some TikTok. You know?
It don't roll off the tongue the same way.
So I got I got 2-part question for both of y'all. So for you, Shazam. So I'm tracking. I think y'all moved to like Sunnyside, and y'all Sunnyside. It's not like around Houston somewhere.
Yeah, we was kind of grew up in the Third Ward, Sunnyside, and South Union area. We grew up in those three areas, like basically all Scott Street. But it's like we were from Sunnyside. We lived in South Union, Cullen Middle School, Jack Yates. So it's like the whole Scott Free from all the way to the far end to the back to the other end. We was kind of in that area right there. You know.
So so in Sunnyside, is that where you 'cause I know y'all moved to Sunnyside. I think that's where your uncle's group Prodigy, correct? Prodigy was happening for y'all to stay out of trouble.
Yeah, that's where my uncle. Yeah, that's where my uncle. My
Yeah.
uncle. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
that's where my uncle reside. You know what I'm saying? But we left South Union, and but my uncle was out there was playing in the band and everything. We kind of like looked at that, kind of influenced us and everything. Want to do better and kind of do something great, but both places was like not really good places to live. was they do that, you know.
So I know you said that was your influence. So how did that influence y'all? How did that influence you in far as your passion for music, and how did y'all really get up into that?
Well, like I said, we come from a musical background. You know, my grandmother sing, my dad do a little singing. All my like my grandmother, uncles, they all everybody plays instruments, and so it's like and then my uncles they was like musicians and stuff like that. So it's like it influenced us because we was coming from South Union, which the missionary was a lot of dope and a lot of
Mm,
things. You know, I got a kind of like in some trouble, and my brother got a little trouble. So we was like we was kind of searching for something to put our attention on to help us to get out those streets, and we just feel like, oh, we could do that, so after seeing them and BBD and the
mm-hmm.
boys, the
Yeah.
Oh
Neutron,
yeah.
groups like that we seen before us, we was like, oh man, okay, we can do this, man. We just as good as them, or maybe better. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like those groups and my uncle, everything we did, it kind of influenced us to want to do great things for us to come to this singing career.
Well, man, okay, I'm about to come back to that. Before I come back to it, I got definitely so GI. So we know that before H Town came about, you was DJing, and I think you was rapping a little bit. So how did you make that transition from DJing and dropping bars to becoming such an R&B sensation?
I was just universal, you know what I'm saying? I was just into everything. So it's like if I just the DJ thing don't work out for me, I do the rap thing. Rap thing don't work out for me, I'm gonna get into the singing. Actually, I came into the group as a singer and as one of the writers at first. And so once I got in the group, I started like right doing a lot of the writing and then started doing a lot of the backgrounds, making that pretty harmony and stuff.
I'm gonna bring this back full circle. So you talked about the boys, you talked about BBD. How did y'all was still teenagers? So how did y'all transition? So you know what, we on some grown man stuff. We didn't really want to come out sounding like ABC, and not no disrespect to them, but sounding like kids and being like on some really grown men because y'all really was sounding like grown men, other than like a
Well,
boy group.
the thing about it was at the time, New Edition was more like the forefront to all the groups. The boys,
Mm-hmm.
New Edition, and the boys came out singing kiddie music. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? They was like on the kiddie tip. You had High Five, still kind of like kiddie. Everybody was dancing like New Edition. So we decided to flip it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's
Yeah.
take, let's dance like New Edition, but we're gonna do the pelvic thrust. We're not gonna do that pretty stuff they be doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're gonna be. We was more like the Bobby Brown. Like Bobby Brown was more like the rough edge of New Edition when he want to throw the gyrate in your face. So we kind of like, what? Let's not. New Edition is already doing that pretty boy thing, but they doing dance choreograph, and we all come from the band. So you're in the band,
Mm-hmm.
you popping it and throwing it. You know what I'm saying? So we like, let's take that part of our music, and then Jodeci was out at the time.
Mm-hmm.
They had
Right.
songs out like "Forever My Lady," "Baby Won't You Just Stay," that pretty stuff. So we was like, nah, we want to come out something different. The boys came out kind of kitty. Our biggest song is called "The Kissing Game." So let's do something that no other group is doing, and that's more of a sexual tilt, tastefully sexual. And then we got with Luke Records, you know what I'm saying? So our first two
Hmm.
songs was "Knock in the Boots" and "Lick You Up and Down."
Mm-hmm.
So we want to come out, and we always looked at it, and we came out singing like kids, it stereotypes us. But if we come out singing like adults, then even though we were teenagers, but we had enough sense to see how it's hard to transition from a kid to an adult, a teenager
Yeah.
to an adult. So
Right.
we was like, let's come out singing straight, you know, adult music, and that's really "Knocking the Boots" is one of the songs that changed the industry. Because before that, you had Troop singing "Spread My Wings,"
Yeah.
Jodeci singing "Forever My Lady," "Baby Won't You Just Stay." A lot of groups were just singing, more like love, and we want
Right.
to break into more of a tastefully sexual healing type thing. And "Knocking the Boots" is one of those songs that changed that
Hmm.
industry over. It actually made R. Kelly come with "Bump and Grind." Because "Knocking the Boots" was a big slang. Nobody, "Bump and Grind" is a slang, but "Knocking the Boots" is one of the first slangs
Yeah.
when it come to making love to a woman. You know what I'm saying? The R. Kelly
Right.
came with the "Bump and Grind" and all that, and it just went from there. You know what I'm saying?
All right. So as you mentioned, like all these other songs, they sounded like kids. It's a little more wholesome. But that means that y'all at 17, 18 had these songs talking about knocking the boots, lick you up and down, which meant that you were probably getting sexualized a lot. So what was that like being young men,
Well,
and being looked
I
at like
think that we had
ladies?
some experience. We had some experience, at an early age. But we also had people around us that we just like, we can write a song off of you. We can see you doing something and write a song. So, by us being in certain environments, we was able to catch on and write songs on the adults. Some of it was personal experience. Some of it was also just people that we was around that was not kept. We would look and we would write material off of it. You know what I'm saying? So, but we glad it paid off for us because a lot of times, a lot of teen acts, they don't survive. It's hard for them to transform from being teens to adults. So I'm glad we came out as teenagers, but we came out singing like we was 25
Adults.
years old. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Adults. But we was actually 17 years old.
Y'all were young.
Singing like
Yeah.
knocking the boots. Yep.
Nah, that makes sense. So I know, like, you had all these hits, like 1993, 1994. You were releasing songs like Part-Time Lover, Backseat with No Sheets, Emotions, and y'all were at the height of your career when this happened. And then there was a little bit of a gap. So what caused some of that shift in momentum? And then how did y'all get back on it?
I think we was on just
Just, we,
yeah.
go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
Now, basically, we was going through the labels transition. Our label, our founding label went bankrupt at the time, and we was going through some contract disputes. And a few people they were trying to get the group, and without us willingly want to be signed to them, we was caught up in the bankruptcy
There's
litigation and
litigation.
stuff like that. Yeah, so we was like kind of like off the scene for a while, and then we finally got that cleared up, and then was able to cut a new deal, and then we came back with They Like It Slow. You
Yeah.
know,
Mm-hmm.
So what would y'all say, especially after overcoming so much? What would y'all say? What would y'all say? Excuse me, how would say? What would y'all say to artists today about negotiating their contracts and handling their business differently?
Make sure you have a good attorney. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you have a great music attorney and also a great manager. Somebody that's connected into the business instead of somebody that's trying to learn as you go along. So you need somebody that's been there already.
That's real. Somebody with experience.
Yes, most definitely.
and then a lot of times I would say try to keep your publishing and stuff like that. Try to write a lot of your music and your publishing and things like that because that publishing go a long ways when you write a lot of your material and produce some of your material. But most definitely try to get your publishing and stuff like that.
So let me ask this for y'all, especially with it being 2023 and with the publishing and all that, because the game has changed. It's not CDs, it's not cassette tapes or anything. It's streaming. So does that still go with your streaming license, even with you having the publishing when they stream it? Y'all, it still comes back to y'all full circle, or
Well, parts of it, goes to publishing.
mm-hmm.
When you a lot of the music you do today, you get your masters and stuff like that. So you like when you kind of do things newer music, you own the master, or either a lot of times groups was not fortunate enough to be able to negotiate deals to get their masters. But I would say, in the God of day, you got your new music. Try to have your master control of everything. You know what I'm saying? And uh, keep ownership into some of your music, especially if you started off and you the one got it on young. But a lot of times these guys they can't really do that in the beginning because they nobodies, you know what I'm saying? So they have to, go with the flow. You're just trying to get in.
Yeah.
So I would say whatever money you do get, don't blow it. A lot of times back in them days, the label was really giving artists big advancements, man.
Yeah.
But people blow their advancements. You got back then, you get a $500,000, $1 million advancement. And what happens is the artist get the money and blows it, and then the album blows up, but then they got to recoup that money back. But in reality, if I knew what I knew now, like we got $3 million for one of our deals. If I knew what I knew now, I would have been like, okay, let me manage my money I got up front because they gotta recoup their money. Sometimes it could take them 5 years, 10 years to recoup their money back after they gave you $4, $5 million. So I would just say a
Yeah.
lot, whatever money you get, you try to invest it properly, save it, not because that's what happens to a lot of artists. A lot of artists take those advancements and then the album blows up, but they in the red. So they done
Mm-hmm.
blew up they done spent up all their upfront money, which in reality, you got paid most of your money up front. You should have just kind of managed it better. That's what I would say, manage your money better when you get your advancement. But they're not
No, that
giving
makes
out
perfect.
advance these days. You ain't getting. You're barely gonna get a deal. You're not even gonna get a deal these days. So unless you just do it yourself and kind of blow up, and the label may come at you, but you're not gonna get it. It's not. You're just not gonna walk on a record company and get a record deal these days.
Yeah,
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
definitely. So
No
you
matter
definitely
who you are, unless you just really putting up big numbers to make them come out. You know what I'm saying?
I
Right.
do. So I know definitely. I know. I guess this can really go for both of y'all. So it's definitely some things that you said that if you knew what you knew, if you knew then what you know now, or you know now what you knew then, you would do some things differently. So what if you really could turn that clock back? What would y'all really do differently as far as some of the stuff that y'all went through?
Me personally, nothing really, because everything was a learning process. You know what I'm saying? So I learned from every mistake, every good thing. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't change anything.
I could definitely dig that.
I would just say, man, the money that I did make when I was making it, I would have probably saved it a little bit more, invested a little bit more. I would have done more investments when I was younger, in my 18 on down. Like right now, I think I'll be retired because we did make some money and we blew a lot of money too. I think I just would have been more guarded of my money and made better decisions with my money, the money that I did make. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
But most definitely would uh when I got my advancement 3 million or 500,000, I would have most definitely managed it better. Not just blew the money like that.
Oh,
Nah, that makes sense. So when it comes to y'all been on the road recently, I mean, had the decades of fame and success, and we know about when the albums drop, we know about all the great records y'all are producing. How did you balance like doing all of this and then having these transitions of record labels and but also personal lives and like being kids when you started and then going through manhood and key stages of adulthood? How did you balance that?
For me, it just, I just think that I just try to take some time out my day, a little bit of every part of my life. You know what I'm saying? And then some parts may get more attention than the other. You know what I'm saying? So it's just that um, I had a mentality, man. I'm not gonna stop for
yeah.
nothing. No matter what happens, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep on taking shots until I feel like it's over for a person. When God says it's over, and when you say it's over, the day you start to say it's over, and you don't this and that, that's when it's going to really be over with. For you. So it's like I just I always just try to take out time, or I may have 1 week where I may go, okay, I'm gonna focus on this. The next week I focus on that, or the next day. So I just figured it out. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But because I walk by I'm my own boss, and I walk by my own creativity. So I say, okay, some stuff I may just put on the back burner. So I kind of need to focus on this because this is more important right there. Like we focus a lot of getting H Town back touring. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
when I start to focus on, man, I got to get the group. We got to get the group back on the road. Now the group is back. We changed up, bought new uniforms, hired dancers, background, just switched the whole new show up, and bam, now we back working more than ever.
I love it.
Still with us, Shazam?
Dope.
Okay, there we
We
go.
have a new single out right now, and it's like, okay, let's focus on how do we really figure out a way to break a record again on the independent scale. So it's like the record is, we put it out there. We've been doing research, studying, put a little bit more attention been going towards that because I'm want to really learn how to break my records on my own without a label.
Yeah.
Because I've been hearing
Hmm.
so much crazy stuff in this label thing, in major labels.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, it ain't, it ain't what you want a deal, but what I'm hearing today, what you gotta do to get a deal is not really my type of speed. You know what I'm saying?
So you
That's real.
you find more benefit in being independent right now?
Oh, most definitely, man.
Always,
Most
always.
definitely. I I feel like this the most money we ever seen or
Mm.
have since we've been in control of everything, even with from management to doing shows. And anytime somebody else was controlling our stuff, the money was never like right now. It's like we control it. We get all our show money. We get all whatever royalties we give. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when you in the you see more of the fruits of the label when you kind of like, oh, okay, I see. You know. Uh, and when you got a good team around you, you see more fruits of the label. You know what I'm saying? Basically, you could be with a label, but they gonna steal all your money, take all your money, or a big
Yeah.
management company that
Yeah.
takes all the money. Which is versus when we do it, it's like, oh, okay, everybody's eating, everybody's living
Come back
good,
home.
everybody's, and that's my motto with everybody in my camp. That everybody live, everybody eat good, everybody live good. If you pay people, you don't have no problems. That's my motto. That's how we run business. Everybody, pay everybody. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to worry about that because there's enough money for everybody to make money when it's money coming in. But a lot of times you give the labels, they're not paying you properly, or they eating up all, or they using every excuse, or you know what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
right now just been putting a lot of my energy into figuring out how do you do this independent thing and be successful, and everybody around you
Still
eat
gotta eat.
well and be properly can pay their bills, take care of their families, and put some money away. That's 100% the way I think at this moment. You know what I'm saying?
I definitely feel that. What in the movie Paid in Full, he said everybody gotta eat. So that's the mentality right now. Hold it down for everybody.
So that's the mentality right now. Yeah, everybody got to eat. Everybody got to eat. Everybody got to eat, man. And that's how we run our business over here. That's how we run our business. Everybody got to eat. You know what I'm saying? And if you have
That's
that,
true.
then, that's what I would tell a lot of you, man. Just make sure everybody eat. Everybody eat. You know what I'm saying? On whatever, Yeah, and everybody be happy. We ain't got nothing to worry about. You know.
No.
And then doing multiple things. I'm a guy. I like to do multiple things. I just can't be one sided. I like to be, do different things. Work on artists, different projects. You gotta just, in this business, you gotta do a lot just to stay relevant and compete. What's going on? So you gotta just do multiple things.
Media. Yeah, you got to do it all. And with independence, you also get to own your masters as well. And so you have that continued money, continued royalties. Because with the legacy that you all have left, we were talking about like 1997 Ladies Edition and how there are so many also deep messages that we can reflect on in some of your work. Because with that album, like you really were tapping into the soul of a woman. You had songs like Natural Woman and Julie Rain. The album itself is being dedicated to Nicole Brown Simpson, and you included like domestic abuse hotline in that. And as we're taking it forward, like what gave you the foresight at that time in 97 to create an album like that?
At the time, we were just, we had done so many songs about sex, and we were just like, you know what, man, we're adults now, and we don't want to just be known for everything being sexualized. You know what I'm saying? Also, us being,
Switch it up.
our spirit, switching up, and then
Yeah.
getting closer to God, our
Mm-hmm.
faith. We kind of want to put some other things, energies in the industry, kind of switching it up a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, and a lot of part of that came from also my brother. My brother was going through, different issues, and Annie had died from spousal abuse.
Mm-hmm.
So we was like, let's kind of switch it up a little bit, show another side of H Town that we know we just not, we're not everything sex, but we got different ideals and showing uplifting women at the time. People was kind of like was not really on women's sides. Like, okay, we got to stand up for the woman because we all got a mother, a auntie, a sister. So it's just something that we want to do for the ladies and just for the world and other men to take an example from. Just switch it up a little bit. So that's a classic album to this day.
Yeah. No, that's big.
So real quick, just and not to, I just want to ask. So talking about the songs like Julie Rain, that song kind of spoke to me just as a young man. So songs like Julie Rain, coming off that album. Nowadays, we see that in this era where in a women's movement, like Me Too movement and stuff like that, and they have conversations about sex trafficking being like more prevalent right now. How do you think songs like Julie Rain would be received if y'all was like to drop it in like 2023?
I think they probably received a little bit better now because there's a lot of sex trafficking and people are kidnapping females from different countries, Nigeria and all these countries, and
Hmm.
turn them to sex slaves. So I think it would hit a little bit more better in these times than it was back then. Back then, we kind of lost our record deal because we did an album like that. The record label was like, "Oh, we don't want this. We want the sexual songs, and y'all don't give us that. We don't really want this clean stuff that y'all doing right here."
Mm.
But that album is still like a classic because so many people walk up to us and say that album saved my life and
Yeah.
it helped me get through. Group songs like Jezebel,
Yeah.
talking about a lot of things
Yeah.
from AIDS to spousal abuse to prostitution. So it's a classic piece, and we just have that we put somebody in the universe for somebody can listen to heal them. You know what I'm saying?
So, so this we're gonna move it forward just a little bit. So I'm just gonna give you the stories. Y'all bear with me for like 2 seconds. So we already know that Julie Rains is definitely one of the tracks that was emotional for you. So I'm gonna take it back to like 2003. I was in high school. I was with my brother in JRTC class in high school when we heard about the passing of your brother Dino. So, and I know that the song "On the Day That I Die," I know it impacts a lot of people, and I know it's a song that he wanted to put out, and I know that you work with him on it to help him write it, correct? And so with that particular song and unsung, we watched the song, we watched the show unsung. I know that Dino wanted to put that out, but what does that song mean to y'all today? And I know Gi, you said you don't like to listen to it like that. Is that still current in 2023, or
Do it. No, I just choose not to. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a
That's it.
song that my brother was kind
hold
of going
on,
through some.
I
He
lost signal a
froze
little
up,
bit.
froze up.
Yeah, I think he froze up.
Yeah, but I
Oh
chose
man,
I chose not to listen to it. I want my memories to be my memories, so I chose not to listen to the song.
yeah.
And yeah,
No, I could definitely understand. The only reason I wanted to ask about it because, like I told you earlier, like I got a twin brother that it touches me, and I still remember to this day. It's like, man, I don't know. We're military. Like we have
Yeah.
deployed with each other together. We just seen the battle line, the battlefield together, and I was like, man, I don't know how I would feel. But I listen to the song daily because when I deploy with my brother, I still want to be like, you know what? It
right.
kind of gives me motivation to like make sure I go forward with my brother and have his back and have his six. In the Army we call it six, and we got the 12
The
going
six,
forward. We
huh?
got the six in the back. So having a twin brother, yeah, I like
Right.
knowing the fact that I got his back on it. So it actually motivates me a lot. I know it's a sad song and it probably shouldn't motivate you, but personal experiences definitely is a song
Right.
that motivates
Correctly.
us all.
Yeah.
But I can definitely understand if like when you've got a
Right.
personal set of memories and that kind of experience with a person, like wanting to just keep those times, those good times, those interesting times, that experience and things you learned about them and that
Exactly. Yeah.
creativity
Yeah.
that
We
Dino
we
had.
we was
Yeah.
very
It's just
like
staple
creative
memory.
together. It's like he can just hum 3 words and I know how to write the whole song. The song be done in 10 minutes. You know what I'm saying? That's just how good we were together. It was like
Yeah.
certain things we would do on stage that was never rehearsed. It
Hmm.
just in that moment we just took it so much. Whatever we feeling at the moment, we catch each other's vibe and just take it there. It sounded like it was rehearsed, but it never was rehearsed. Certain like runs and chants and stuff that we would just create out of the blue on stage live.
Hmm.
Just just having fun. Yeah,
So let me ask you, Gi. So I know for a minute that you went and you was doing you was working
yeah,
when I kind of um slowed up for a minute. And everybody's working on their albums.
yeah,
You started working with other groups. I think you started working with
yeah, yeah.
producing some. Do you think, as far as being like an AR, you think that still should be like prevalent today, or you think that's something it's a
It
lost
should
art?
be. It should be, but it's not really. It's not really. It's not really like that anymore. You know. I mean, like
Hmm.
I can see these days the A&R just. I guess they just sit back and wait for looking at the numbers on Facebook and Instagram and looking at the numbers of how many followers you have and what I'm saying. So they just wait for you to make yourself a success before they come looking for you.
Mm.
Even if they
Right.
heard a record
What
and
was
they
the
like it, and they really like it, they still sit back and wait till you becomes a household name on your own before they come chasing you. You know. But-
So that kind of goes back to when y'all used to get advances to do stuff, but now they kind of just they
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
hold
yeah,
their
yeah,
money a
yeah.
little
They want
bit
for it.
and see
Exactly.
what you could do on
You
your
know,
own.
Yeah.
which that ain't how we came out, but you know that's the way it is today. You know. Yeah.
Makes what would you say one of the biggest differences is as far as being actual like on the road singing and performing versus actually being like behind the scenes and producing and putting work in with other groups and or other artwork for, as far as that
Sure, I
stands.
love it all, though. I mean, but you know, of course, I love the stage, but you know, I'm more I'm more of a behind the scenes person than in front of the camera. You know what I'm saying? So I prefer to just mainly just to make things happen. You know, so I love to create and make new things happen. You know, that's how I run. You know, but I get in front of the camera when I have to be in front of the camera. Yeah.
I can do.
Yeah, I can totally understand that. So at this point, I mean, we've talked a lot about the
Hmm.
history and the legacy that H-Town has left so far, but that
Yeah.
legacy does continue because, you know, y'all been in the game for 30 years. We talked about how influential that moment in 1993 was, but you are still creating music for not only for
Yeah.
our generation, for future
Yeah.
generations, and for those who were with you from the start to
Yeah.
continue to listen to. So can you tell us a little bit about your newest
Well, the
project?
newest project is the song we just released with Strokey Dope. We actually pulled it deep out of our archive. It's a song that we never released,
Okay.
which would include all members. So including Dino as well. So
Okay.
we thought it'd be dope, you know, to give people a little, make people reminisce, give them a little bit of that '90s flavor back, put it back in their life, you know,
Yeah.
and just take them back there for a moment. And that's what, you know, Strokey though. You know, like I said, we always come up with some crazy titles, some catchy titles.
Yeah.
Right. Oh
So,
yeah.
I was definitely gonna ask you, like, I was like, man,
yeah,
y'all had knocking the boots. It's the other. How do y'all get these names like Strokey Dope?
they
Because
just come out.
immediately, you know, I'm thinking about like Muhammad Ali, like Okie Doke. I was like,
they
what's it? So, are
it
that
just come out naturally. It just come out. You know what I'm saying? I guess that's how creative we are. We just think of some crazy stuff to say. Yeah,
But I can
yeah,
hear it being a catchphrase.
yeah,
Like it's one of those like now that I've heard it, I want to say
right.
it.
man? So we don't want to keep y'all too long. But before what I want to do, if we can get y'all to
Okay.
introduce y'all new song
Yeah.
to the nation, and also and we can let it flow. Oh, we got Shazam. Oh, we got
I
Shazam.
There
lost
you go.
y'all for a second.
Hey, welcome back.
Man, my
There you
phone,
go.
it's so hot in Houston. The whole phone just shut off.
Ooh yeah, Houston like fire right
It's
now.
blazing. Man, I
Yeah,
was sitting in the truck. Whole phone just overheated.
Oh
With
man,
the
you got to
AC
get back
on.
inside that coop.
With the
we was
AC
just
on. I was sitting inside the truck. The whole phone just shut off.
You know you can't do direct send ladder in Houston. That's it's
I'm
too
like,
much.
wow.
just to catch you up. We was talking to Gi about the future of H Town and y'all future projects right now and how it's running. So we want to see what you think the future of H Town is right now.
Well, like I said, man, I'm a firm believer of just doing multiple things. We're in the process right now. We're trying to work on talking to certain people, like trying to get our movie off the ground. So we actually I sent our script to Netflix. It actually reached to the top. So
Okay.
Netflix is looking at our movie right now to maybe do a
Hey.
movie on H Town. So we're looking at the movie or maybe the documentary. Um, we also, um, I'm working on a project, but I'm working on a project kind of way where it's like with my group, maybe some songs with GI and we're in the midst of trying to do, me and GI decided he want to make sure that we kind of agree on the H Town project. So we work on the
Hmm.
H Town project, but we're trying to get the right tracks for the new H Town project. Um, and then hopefully, man, we can get to around to where maybe we can eventually come to and maybe present a nice artist from H Town Music. You know what I'm saying? I got to shoot this idea by G. I haven't shot it to him yet, but I had a couple ideas I want to shoot by G. I want us working with artists and stuff like this. So it's just like, and then touring. touring and
Yeah.
touring. Most definitely doing a lot of touring. The touring is not going nowhere. You know, we just doing a lot of the touring, and just constantly creating opportunities to stay relevant and doing multiple things. You know what I'm saying? You know, I look at the great groups like New Edition. You know, I look how they stay relevant. You know, they just did so much to stay relevant. Movies and
Right.
different projects, and you know, they just and then they come back together and just, you know, to me, that's like the ultimate blueprint when you look at a group like a New Edition, how them
Hmm.
guys just did so much to survive over 50, 40 years in the game, 45 years in the game. But I see how they do it. They never they do multiple things. They don't just one sided. They did Barbara Brown did a movie on his life. Then turned
Yeah.
around and did New
Yeah.
Edition. New Barbara Brown did an album. Then BBD did an album. And then rap did it. And then, you know, then they come back and do a new. You know what I'm saying? They just did so much to stay relevant. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel, you know, H Time, we one of them groups that, well, we have so much departments, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we can do so many things at this point and control it, you know what I'm saying? For us, even doing new artists or movies or books or whatever we want to do. So it's like my mind is just like on a high right now, you know what I'm saying? I feel like, you know, we still young and we are still young enough to do what we love to do, but this is our last wave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This our last wave to go where we go. We were gonna take our shots after this wave. It ain't no more. It's just, you know, we young now,
Yeah.
but we maybe got about 10, 15 more years left to just say, hey, after that, it just, you know,
Hey, man. Hey, you
it's
know,
our
so you know,
last way to go for it. You know what I'm saying? On, not,
hey,
not just on music, on anything we want to do. On
yeah,
anything
Yeah.
we want to do. Because after that, it's going to become retirement. Like, you know,
yeah.
I'm retired now. I'm just sitting back and collecting from my fruit. So that's why I'm working so hard now. And
Yeah.
I keep a drive to keep it moving and just doing multiple things. You know what I'm saying?
Use that for an investment in the next projects that just gonna reap those benefits.
Been doing some things outside the music business. You know what I'm saying? My mind is like, because I know this is like, we're young, but what how you do what you do as a young man is gonna count how you do as an old man. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
If you don't make the right decisions as a young man, when you become old when you can't help yourself, then you out of there. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I try to do multiple things and ventures off and inside and outside the music business, because I know eventually it's gonna come a time I'm about to just say it's done. I'm not doing nothing else. Now I'm retired and with my grandbabies and, you know, all that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I'm at right now.
No, we definitely man. We definitely see where you're coming from with it. Keep that motivation, man. We just want to give you y'all flowers while y'all still here, cause we don't think R&B gets the flowers that it deserves. We see hip hop, we see all of that, but it just seems like R&B don't get the flowers that it deserves. We definitely want to give you your flowers, especially being some R&B sensations while y'all here.
Most
Yeah.
definitely, we appreciate it, man. So, you know,
Appreciate it.
and let everybody know, man, we will be coming to a city near you. You know, H Town's full in effect on touring, and we know we're just doing a lot of things right now. We're doing a lot of different things right now, from working on movies to this and to that. It's like we're just taking shots right now. You know what I'm saying? Staying relevant, and a lot of it's paying off. Right now, we're one of the top 10 R&B groups that get booked in the world right now.
I
We went
believe it.
from being not booked that much to, you know, we made some adjustments and changes, and now they booking us like crazy.
Hey, if I can I throw one suggestion out there? This is gonna be shameless of me though. I gotta do it, man. Do it for the military. Come close to some of these military posts and do it for the military, because we out here. I know, like Fort Stewart area in Georgia. We got Fort Sam, Houston in Texas. Like, come around us, son, because we don't never get that love.
Well, you know, man,
Yeah.
that's all be on the promoter sometime, man.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
you know, we most definitely want to come that way, but that's something I may put into these promoters' ear.
yeah.
Man, maybe we should start hitting some of these military bases, you know what I'm saying? So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, most definitely, I remember back in the day, we used to do a lot of military bases, like in Germany,
Yeah.
Japan. You know, we
Mm-hmm.
would go
Yeah.
actually to Japan and perform on the military bases. But I just think a lot of things happen with this COVID, and, you
Yeah.
know, just a lot of
Right.
promoters want to make sure where they're gonna go, they're gonna win and stuff like that. But that is a good idea to put in some of these promoters' ear. We need to hit some of these military bases. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Especially certain areas like the DMV.
Oh
Woo. Hey, You throw a stone, you hit a military installment.
DV, we might have to get with y'all on that. You know, that might be something we might
Hey.
do ourselves. Bring
Yeah.
H-Town there, you know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
Yo,
I'm with
let
it.
us know.
Yo, what up? It's your boy GL from H-Town, and you're tuning to Global RnB 96.3.
Yo, what up? This Shazam from the legendary group H-Town. And when we in town, we around, we jam Global R&B at 96.3.
For the ladies, check it. While I got you hiding in my 6-4, with your body laid to the door.